What's going on, guys? Bank Robber Games here with more ADACA Zone Patrol. And last episode, when we left off, we did quite a bit of exploring. We met up with some free scrappers and got a quest from them and explored the rest of the dish area. And then towards the end of that episode, we carried on with a quest that we received from the free scrappers a lot, which led us down into the catacombs, and we saw some quite interesting areas in the catacombs as well. So I highly recommend going back and watching last episode, partly because we are midway through the catacombs and it is a very maze-like area to explore, and then you also get to see some of the points of interest we saw last episode. But this episode, thankfully we have started it by a map, so you can tell exactly where we are if you're following along. And yeah, we did get a artifact down there at the start of at the end of last episode. So from where we came out into this main area, if we just come to this first set of stairs on the right, there is a ammo bag upgrade, or the mole, or molly, or whatever you want to call it, in this room. We have already purchased it because we purchased it from the free scrappers base. But if you don't feel like purchasing it, you can always come here to pick it up every time you enter the zone patrol, because it means it doesn't allow you to take it back to the ship, along with some ammo for us as well. Now we head back down these stairs. Sit them here. There is our next geo marker, mentioning a junction here. That can only mean one thing. But before we head back up, behind this set of stairs, there is this mistake assault shotgun. And yeah, it's very, very powerful and got a scope. It looks very, very cool. But as well as being silenced, it does absolutely burn through ammo. And we are running low on a few others of our weapons. Just going to head back up this set of stairs. And then here to where there's these three signs. If we jump over these railings, there is an artifact here. I'm just going to take this guy out very quickly. So for now we are going to follow this cable, and that is definitely not what I wanted to run into. And it's things like running into those enemies that I definitely recommend picking up the tank gun, and that is something I showed off in a previous episode. But like I said, we are just going to want to follow this wire. We're going to take this right at this crossroads. this? Oh, it's a swarm launcher. And here is our data cache for this area. And I didn't actually point out where the data cache reader is, but you would have seen it if you would have probably seen it if you watched last episode. We are just going to want to follow this wire back to this main section where there was that big enemy. I can't remember what they're called. But underneath the catwalk there is another artifact. See where we are here. And this is the way we went down to lab 28 that you would have seen last episode. We just want to head back to the office. Very interesting message here. Now we're just going to want to go back through this door to head back to the main tunnel. Again, looking out for this red container. Game isn't being very nice with its enemy spawns here. I was hoping our shotgun was still here. So I think the assault shotgun is a little bit more ammo efficient than the Mistake. But you want to work your way back to these three symbols here and the entrance to the mines. Now previously I did mention a sniper team, and we're going to head into Junction 6 to take them out. And as soon as we enter Junction 6, we're going to want to move as quickly as possible to where they are. And here's an anomaly we haven't seen yet, but I'll worry about that in a second. So if you remember the building where the radio was on, where we heard the codes, various codes that we need, they are just on top here. Yeah, if you are quick like that, it is very easy to take them out, and they'll be much less of a threat to you because they can very easily pin you down in this area. And if you remember before we did see sort of like a red anomaly that messed us up. I mentioned it could stun our companions. This is what I was talking about, and there's no way as far as I'm aware to get rid of it. But this glowing purple thing you can see teleporting around the place is a teleporter. And if you step into it, it will send you to a random part of the Zone Patrol map. I'm not going to worry about using these for the time being, just because it does add a aspect of chance into your playthrough. It can be quite fun jumping into them and seeing where it spits you out. But for this guide at least, I'm not going to worry about using them except for from where we have to, in an effort to show everything off. So, like I said, I'm not going to jump through it. And here is a character that is quite important to Zone Patrol, being Crow, and we'll learn more about them in the future. A bit difficult for me to show them off at the moment with the screaming. Like I said, we'll learn more about them later on anyway. So again, this is the building where the radio was, where we took out the sniper team. And if we head this way to this mini dock thing here, this is the building where there was an artifact up on this girder, but for us it was down here where it had obviously been knocked off by an anomaly. And here is our next geomarker, saying there's one more spot this person wants to check out. Talking about a city just north of here, and setting up camp. And obviously the only area north of where we are at the moment, in Junction 6, is Necropol. So again, makes it quite easy to figure out where we need to go to from here. But the Crow character you can see over there is friendly to you, and they will offer support to you, similar to a companion, but they just won't follow you around. Another anomaly there. It seems to have that invisible person we saw running there seems to have no effect on the anomaly going around that's bothering Crow and bothered us a minute ago, where the red figures spawn. So we're not going to worry about that for now, and we're just going to head north, follow the clue from the geomarker, head north into Necropol. Before I head into Necropol though, I do have to warn that it is a very dangerous area, especially with the quest we have active. And there's going to be a lot of slightly tougher enemies spawning. It is also an area that I'd recommend turning the setting to make bodies despawn. Just because the amount of enemies that spawn in this area, it can tank your frame rate. And it's the only area that I've consistently had frame rate issues, but it was just due to the amount of people in the area, and sometimes they'd get sucked into a certain type of anomaly, and again it would make your frame rate tank quite badly in some instances. Every time we come into Necropol, there is a sniper up on this tower, so it's quite a good thing we picked up a DMR off one of those sniper teams to take that person out there quite easily. But from the entrance, we just follow this road here, heading east, and there'll be a set of stairs. And here is our next shop. So this shopkeeper here tends to sell some more unique weapons, some of which are quite powerful. plasma pistol, the hammerhead, which is the small double-barreled shotgun, which takes up your sidearm spot, along with the bum leg, pocket rocket, and this is where I said we could purchase the crossbow. There is also the ancient rifle, which is a bolt action rifle. It is quite fun to use, but it's not actually that powerful, so I don't really recommend buying it. There is also the heavy SMG, very fun weapon, potentially very powerful, but it does chew through ammo. Same with the tactical battle rifle, much better than the regular battle rifle, but again, it does chew through ammo. The flamethrower is very, very powerful and actually has a surprising amount of ammo, and the ammo lasts surprisingly long and can be useful in certain situations. The RPG is exactly the same as it is in the campaign, but what we're interested in at the moment is these PV09 goggles, and this basically changes, instead of our binoculars, basically gives us a set of goggles, and they will highlight enemies and NPCs through walls, but as you'll see in a second, they'll also be able to highlight artifacts for you, which makes getting all the artifacts in an area much easier. So at the moment we're going to stay in the underground tunnel complex. Heading north. And you'll be able to see if we use the goggles that there is an artifact down here waiting for us. Then this area can be a bit difficult to follow as we explore through it, so I'm just going to head back down to the entrance where we came in and where the shopkeeper was, and make our way to our next point of interest within Necropol. And because we entered the shop and came back out, this sniper enemy has respawned. Come around this way. There is an artifact on top of this billboard pillar thing here, poster pillar. Yeah, they're quite good, these goggles, as well as showing you where all the artifacts are. They can really help your situational awareness. I think I've gone up the wrong set of stairs. For our next artifact. I'm just going to take out these enemies quickly. Here's Crow. They've come and joined us again. You see they're armed with a tactical combat rifle, so it makes them quite effective. Should make it a bit easier as we work our way through this area as well. So here is the set of stairs we just came down, and I really did not want that to happen. But thankfully we have just gone back to Junction 6, so I'll meet you guys back over in Necropol where we just were. So welcome back guys, we're back where we just were, and if you couldn't tell, we did get sucked into one of the purple teleportation portals I mentioned before. But from the set of stairs that we went up to get that artifact, if we just head round the back of this building and down this set of stairs, should be another artifact just here for us. So here is something that I didn't want to run into. Especially in this area. Well, the conflux orbs. Hopefully the soldiers can take them out. So we're going to head up this ramp. Avoiding the anomalies best we can. Carry on going north as much as we can. And inside this small bunker, there will be another artifact waiting for us. Tell you what, I am going to throw a assault shotgun over to Mike. Should hopefully make him a little bit more effective. As we have the top of the ramp here, we head over this way. There is another geo marker here. Now, from where that geo marker is, head into this building. Don't really want to pull out the tank gun in this area. And yeah, we come to the top floor. It's blood trail here. We can open the door. And here is this character's last geo marker. Need to make sure that we pick up their little data drive there. And as you saw, it did mention about getting the data back to the free scrappers. So that is what we're going to do next. And the easiest way is back down that ramp. Obviously I did just jump out of the building. Back to the entrance. Just here. So we're going to go back into Junction 6, back to the beachhead, through the storm drain, and into the dish. So now we're in the beachhead, we can work our way back to the storm drain. Thankfully the entrance is quite close. Almost get wiped out immediately by a group of bad guys. And head straight for the dish. And if we head through where this main gate is and the first geo marker was that we found. This is another anomaly we've seen before that we want to be careful of. Again, that is not what I wanted to see. Actually saw those dogs spawn in there. And just because we have used it quite a lot, that is not what I wanted. We are going to do damage to ourselves. Where's that anomaly? But yeah, just because we've used it quite a lot, I'm going to go ahead on and top up on tank gun ammo. See, now we've got our ammo bags upgrades. They actually carry a lot of rounds considering how powerful it is. I do like the way it does give you a way of dealing with those anomalies. And that is just going to lead us back to the Free Scrappers base. But looking at how long this episode has been, I think here's a pretty good place to wrap it up. I feel like we had a pretty productive episode there. Explored some of the catacombs, quite a lot of the catacombs actually, along with Necropol. There isn't actually as much to do in Necropol as I'd like in a lot of ways. It is an underutilized area. There is some more things for us to see there. So if you know of something else that is there, don't worry, we will get round to it later. But other than that, do feel free to leave a comment below if you feel like you need help with anything. And also if you feel like I've potentially missed something. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and been enjoying the series so far, and hopefully found it useful as well. If you have been enjoying the series or been finding it useful, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on the next part of this guide. Thanks again for watching. I always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.